Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. All right, NCAA College Football Week 1. I know last week was week 0. They split week 1 into 2 weeks. For years now, they've called that first weekend week 0, and this is week 1. So this is where we got a lot of the big games. And we're going to have 21 here that we're going to cover on Robert Sports Show this week. Last week I was 9-2 on straight up picks, 6-5 against the spread, 8-3 on the over under. Overall, I was 23-10, which is the 69.69%. My goal is 66%. I figure if I can get 2 out of 3, 66% every week, that's kind of where I want to be at. If you're new to Robert Sports Show, welcome. I do NFL picks, college football picks. I have done CFL in the past. I've done XFL, which hopefully in 2023 we'll be doing XFL, USFL, CFL, and everything. I also do NASCAR picks and previews. I also do pro wrestling reviews and stuff. So kind of a smorgasbord here in Robert Sports Show. Just when I have time and kind of different things I find fascinating. And when I do the NFL picks, I'll talk about my fantasy football league. We drafted over the weekend, so I can't wait to get started with that. All right, first game we had the Tennessee Volunteers versus the Ball State Cardinals. Tennessee is on the preseason rankings, and that's, if you've checked out my topic video about realignment and new playoff structure. So we have the coaches rankings, we have the AP rankings, we have the preseason rankings done by this, that, the other person, and whatnot. And then we have the playoff rankings toward the end of the year. So there's all these different rankings that are available out there. So I'm going to talk about a preseason ranking. That's going to be based on the Alta Sports book and their rankings, preseason rankings. They don't always match up with the coaches poll and or the AP poll. So Tennessee is in the Alton Sports book is ranked 18th, while the Ball State Cardinals are ranked 119th. Tennessee is favored by 34.5. I got Tennessee winning. I got Ball State covering at 34.5. I'm taking under on the 68 points. The next up, we have the Central Michigan Chippewas versus the Oklahoma State Cowboys. The Central Michigan is preseason ranked 91st, while the Cowboys are preseason ranked 17th. The Cowboys are favored by 21. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 60. The West Virginia Mountaineers versus the 17th ranked Pittsburgh Panthers. In that preseason ranking I was talking about, West Virginia is 51st, while Pittsburgh is 23rd. But in the AP poll, they are 17th. Pittsburgh is favored by 7.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 52. Louisiana Tech Bulldogs versus the Missouri Tigers. Louisiana Tech is preseason ranking of 116, where the Tigers are 54th. The Tigers are favored by 19.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 60. The Penn State Nittany Lions, 25th ranked in the preseason poll. The 31st ranked Purdue Boilermakers. Penn State is favored by 3.5. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 53.5. The 62nd ranked Virginia Tech Hokies versus the 95th ranked Old Dominion Monarchs. The Hokies are favored by 8.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 49.5. The 107th ranked Western Michigan Broncos versus the 15th ranked Michigan State Spartans. Michigan State is favored by 22. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 54. Yeah, that preseason, that realignment video I did, and I'll put it in the top. You'll see it come across the top there. It's kind of structured like the NFL, basically. So you have 8 conferences, 16 divisions, playoffs from there. So instead of having polls and all that, you basically just do it all in the field. We have the 122nd ranked Temple Owls versus the 110th ranked Duke Blue Devils. I won't have these rankings on every video unless you're in the top 25. This is just the preseason rankings because this is the first game for most of these teams. Duke is favored by 7. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 52. The Illinois Fighting Illini, this is actually their second game. They played last week, so they're 1-0. They're going up against the Indiana Hoosiers. The Illinois is ranked 69th, while the Hoosiers are ranked 83rd. Indiana is favored by 3. I actually have given the 3 points to Illinois. I got Illinois winning, covering, and over on the 46.5. Next up, we have the TCU Horned Frogs versus the Colorado Buffaloes. TCU is ranked 55th, why the Buffaloes are ranked 92nd. TCU is favored by 14th. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 55.5. The 87th ranked Colorado State Rams versus the 8th ranked Michigan Wolverines. Michigan is favored by 30.5. I got Colorado covered in 30.5. I don't think it's going to be that big a blowout, but it's still going to be a blowout. Michigan wins, Colorado covers, and under on the 61.5. 13th ranked NC State Wolfpack versus the 71st ranked East Carolina Pirates. The Wolfpack is favored by 11.5. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 51.5. The 1-0 North Carolina Tar Heels going up against the Appalachian State Mountaineers. North Carolina is ranked 42nd in the preseason. Appalachian State 48th. North Carolina is favored by 1.5. I'm actually giving that 1.5 to Appalachian State. I got the Mountaineers winning, covering, and over on the 56. The 78th ranked Arizona Wildcats versus the 57th ranked San Diego State Aztecs. The San Diego State Aztecs are favored by 6. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 46.5. The 23rd ranked Cincinnati Bearcats versus the 19th ranked Arkansas Razorbacks, which is very unique because in the AP poll, 23rd and 19th, in the preseason poll I have, Cincinnati is ranked 15th, Arkansas is ranked 22nd. Arkansas is favored by 6. I'm actually giving up 6 to Cincinnati. I got Cincinnati winning, covering, and over on the 52. The 11th ranked Oregon Ducks versus the 3rd ranked Georgia Bulldogs. This is actually one of those games where I could see the Pac-12 Oregon Ducks hanging with Georgia. Georgia's favored by 17. I got the Ducks covering that 17, but Bulldogs winning, under on the 53. We know last year that Bulldogs defense was best in football. I don't think it's going to change that much this year. Probably one of the most intriguing games of the weekend. We have the 5th ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish versus the number 2 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. So we got the Fighting Irish against the Buckeyes. Buckeyes are favored by 17. This could be the only loss for Notre Dame this year. Notre Dame could win out the rest of the year because they've done that before. They've lost week 1 and won out. We've seen multiple teams do that over the years. Ohio State is favored by 17. Got Ohio State winning. I got Notre Dame covering that 17 and taking over on the 59. The 7th ranked Utah Utes versus the 33rd ranked Florida Gators. Utah is favored by 3. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 51. Louisville Cardinals, who are ranked 44th in the preseason, while the Syracuse Orange are ranked 68th. Louisville is favored by 4. I got them winning, covering, and under on the 56.5. The 1-0 36th ranked Florida State Seminoles versus the 26th ranked LSU Tigers. Tigers are favored by 3. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 51.5. And then we have the 4th ranked Clemson Tigers versus the 88th ranked Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. The Tigers are favored by 22. I got them winning, covering, and over on the 49. So that is going to be the 21 games here in week number 1 that we are covering here for NCAA college football. If you haven't already, make sure you do check out that college football topic video. If you're a NASCAR fan, I got a playoff preview coming up of the NASCAR Cup Series. And then this week's Darlington races, the Xfinity and Truck preview, or Xfinity and Cup previews as well. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show. Don't just have a great day, have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.